Yo, what is up, Looply fam? Get ready, because we're diving headfirst into the wildest stories hitting the music world. First up, we're talking about a legendary band and a voice that almost joined them, a supergroup that could have sounded very different. Then, we're uncovering the secrets behind a massive 70s hit that baffled everyone, even Neil Young himself. But hold up, the hits keep coming. We've got Neil Young back on a stage that holds legendary memories, delivering a performance that's pure fire. And if that wasn't enough, we're going back to the roots of a vital American cause with Farm Aid celebrating a massive milestone. Stick around, you do not want to miss this. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a beat. Did you know Crosby, Stills, and Nash almost had a completely different sound? We're digging into the story of Steve Marriott, the powerhouse vocalist from Humble Pie and Blind Faith, who was a serious contender to join the iconic trio before Neil Young cemented his place. Imagine those legendary harmonies with Marriott's gritty, soulful voice adding a whole new dimension. Graham Nash himself was apparently apprehensive about disrupting the existing chemistry, and while Stills had a connection to Young from Buffalo Springfield, the band was also exploring other avenues. Marriott, fresh off his experience in the supergroup Blind Faith, was a compelling option. His raw, blues-infused delivery could have provided the rock edge that some felt was missing from CSN's softer, melodic sound, potentially balancing Nash's higher register. While Young's unpredictable genius ultimately shaped the Deja Vu album, it's fascinating to consider how Steve Marriott might have steered the band's trajectory, perhaps even allowing them to embrace their harder rock roots alongside their folk rock sensibilities. Ultimately, the dynamics of supergroups and the delicate balance of egos meant that Marriott pursued his solo career, leaving us to wonder about the road not taken for this legendary ensemble. But that, what if, is just the beginning of our musical journey tonight. Get ready to discover the story behind a song that wasn't even supposed to be a hit and how it shocked Neil Young himself. What if we told you one of Neil Young's biggest rivals actually scored a massive hit with a song Neil Young himself never wrote? Prepare to be amazed by the story of the American trio, America, and their chart-topping anthem, A Horse with No Name. When Dewey Bunnell, Jerry Beckley, and Dan Peake, sons of U.S. servicemen stationed in the UK, formed their band, they drew inspiration from the West Coast sound. Their debut album was a moderate success, but it was a song Bunnell initially thought lacked hit potential, later retitled A Horse with No Name, that catapulted them to stardom. It wasn't just a hit. It topped the U.S. charts for 3 weeks and even knocked Neil Young's Heart of Gold from the #1 spot. Bunnell admits he was inspired by Young, but the song's meaning, rooted in escaping urban drudgery and embracing nature, was misinterpreted by some as promoting drug use. Despite the initial shock and Young's grumbles, A Horse with No Name became a defining track of the 70s soft rock era, proving that sometimes the biggest hits come from the most unexpected places, and the greatest songs aren't always the ones you expect. From surprise hits to legendary returns, we're heading back to a venue steeped in musical history. You won't believe who's back on stage, delivering a performance that's pure magic. The legendary Neil Young has made a triumphant return to the Shoreline Amphitheatre, the very place that hosted the iconic Bridge School benefit concerts he co-founded. For the first time since 2016, the 79-year-old rocker graced the stage, delivering a powerhouse performance with his Chrome Hearts band that spanned over 2 hours and featured 20 incredible tracks. Fans were treated to a mix of his solo material, beloved Crazy Horse anthems, and even a nod to his Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young days. Young, who was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice, once as a solo artist and again with Buffalo Springfield, proved he's still a force of nature, especially on the guitar. He seamlessly transitioned from mellow acoustic numbers like Ambulance Blues to searing electric guitar solos on Cowgirl in the Sand and Hey Hey, My Into the Black. The performance was a vibrant reminder of why he's hailed as the godfather of grunge, influencing generations of musicians. The energy was palpable, the guitar jams were mesmerizing, and the crowd, many of whom have followed Young for decades, clearly cherished every moment of this long-awaited reunion. And speaking of enduring legacies and vital causes, we're shifting gears to celebrate a milestone for an event that's been supporting American farmers for decades. Get ready for the story of Farm Aid at 40. Farm Aid is celebrating an incredible 40 years of supporting American family farmers, a cause ignited by the legendary Willie Nelson, Neil Young, and John Mellencamp. Back in 1985, inspired by Bob Dylan, Nelson spearheaded the first Farm Aid concert, a massive event that drew 78,000 people and raised crucial awareness and funds for farmers facing an unprecedented crisis. The 1980s saw plummeting farm prices, rising interest rates, and unfair lending practices pushing countless families off their land. The initial concert, thrown together in just 6 weeks, featured an astonishing lineup of music icons, from Johnny Cash and Joni Mitchell to Billy Joel and B.B. King, all united to declare, "We can't lose this important part of America." Farmers like Garriott's, who had lost his land, were present, finding solace and a voice in the outpouring of support. Today, Farm Aid continues its mission, with Nelson, Young, and Mellencamp still at the forefront, joined by a new generation of artists like Margot Price and Dave Matthews, proving that the fight for family farms remains as vital as ever. That's all the news for today, but don't go anywhere yet. We've got a lightning round recap and all the ways you can stay connected with us. And that's a wrap on today's incredible music news. We heard about Steve Marriott nearly joining Crosby, Stills, and Nash, uncovered the surprising story behind America's hit, A Horse with No Name, witnessed Neil Young's epic return to Shoreline, and celebrated 40 years of Farm Aid's vital mission. Don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to Looply for more amazing content, and ring that notification bell so you're always in the loop. Let us know in the comments which story blew your mind the most. You can also follow us on all our social media channels for behind-the-scenes action and more music news. Thanks for watching, Looply fam. We'll see you in the next one.